Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. I'm Lisa Richmond. This is Thoughtful Thursday. Welcome if you're new here. If you're a returning guest, love having you here. This has been amazing watching this community grow. So thank you so much for all your love and support. Today is the 27th, and it is a big day. Well, it's a big time. Like, this is a big time right now. And I just want to jump into it right away because we have exceptional amount of eclipse energy happening. And I briefly talked a little bit about eclipse energy, but my guides today were like, jump in to talking about how the eclipse energy is influencing your existence right now. So let's do it. Let's jump in. Okay, I asked my guides to come forward to help me bring through this message for the highest and greatest good of all. From and only from the highest consciousness available, may we be surrounded by love and ease and grace. Okay. So essentially, how they showed it to me before coming on here is that in between two eclipses, so like we have our partial solar eclipse that's happening like the day after tomorrow. And tomorrow's my birthday, guys. Just had to throw that in there. Okay, let's get back on track. Okay, so the lunar eclipse, the full moon lunar eclipse that occurred a couple weeks ago, and then where we are now in the in-between, and then this partial solar eclipse, what they want you to understand is, like, let's break it down. I'm going to make it in its most simplest form because that's the best way for me to explain anything, is that the first eclipse, the lunar eclipse, was like the death. Okay, that was the release, that was the shedding, that was all the things that came through, like I had said last week, like that came through to be released, to shed, to let go of from like this existence, this current incarnation, lots before it, lots in front of it, lots all, like everything simultaneously is happening. Okay. So again, simplest form, we're breaking this down and saying that we are collecting fragmented aspects of self, bringing it into a wholeness, and in doing that to create this wholeness of what the north node of the partial solar eclipse that's coming up, of like the go time. Okay, when we're collecting all of these fragmented parts of self, all these different aspects of ourselves into this like interwoven wholeness of who we are, we're not bringing in the shit that doesn't come with it. We are like cleansing and stripping all those aspects, all those fragmented parts of any density, any lower vibrations, anything that is not invited in to this like interwoven wholeness aspect of self that is being chosen to represent this, physical vessel at this point in time in which we're perceiving our reality, to go forward in this new energy of this like rebirth, this wholeness, this perception of self, this life of birth, this newness, this creation, this expansion of our greatness and what we're here to do. That is the birthing energy of what is occurring, okay, within this eclipse. So that eclipse was the shedding, the transmuting, and did we feel it? I mean, I talked about it. We have been transmuting so much energy. Our bodies are tired. Okay, they're tired. And that's why we're like this in between right now that we're kind of going through in preparation for this like rebirth is it's like the shedding of the old, the transmuting of what occurred. We're going through the like process, the like whirls, the processes of letting go of all the imprinted parts of self that is carrying a density through, belief systems, memories, traumas, lifetimes, cellular structures that we carry with perceived connection to like genetics or like disease, all of that. I'm not saying they don't exist, I'm saying they very much exist, but they're occurring in our like physical body because we're carrying these imprints of these memory codes from other places. Okay. Now we're starting to not get so simple. So I'm asking to like retract a little bit so that we can keep on a more simplistic timeline. Okay. So what transpired in us being able to transmute this energy and release the density that have been carried on from, lifetimes and generations from this life and many before that, and the surrounding areas and the earth and like everything in which we're standing on right now, we're transmuting it and we're transmuting it, and we are recoding our existence. So like we're removing a lot of the density that's held within our energy field from prior stuff, memories, traumas, all that. It's like we're removing those codes. We're implementing new perceptions of self, new ideas, new light codes from the help of our galactic friends, our angelic friends, our higher self, in order to be transformed into this divine essence, essentially, of who we truly are for this place and time right now in order to move forward. So the transformational change energy that's occurring right now, you guys, is never been felt in your timeline, in your existence of like this human form. But the thing is like, you agreed to do this. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this. That's why you're a part of this, is so that this new formed energetic self, that all those fractal self that is, connecting in with your highest self into your wholeness form of how you're perceiving your life right now, in order to carry out what you're here to do, who you're here to be, and how you're to take this light with you in order to help this evolution of Earth in this higher dimensional frequency, 5D, whatever you want to call it. You're literally in that you're right at the edge. You're right at the freaking edge of being able to like pierce through and be like, wow, I got wings. Shit, look at me fly. Like that's literally what's happening right now. And this eclipse, like, and we're right here. So you're probably feeling it. You're probably feeling the energy, or even that, like, when like all this energy is swirling, and then it's like quiet. And you're like, why is it so quiet? And then poof, calm before the storm kind of thing, but not like bad storm, as in like breakthrough, rebirth, like new paradigm type of thing. But chances are you can really feel it in this anticipatory energy. Like, guys, there's something big happening. I'm on the precipice of like the most giant life-changing energy. I don't know what it is, but you can feel it, and you can feel like you have seen the things around you in life start to like play out differently, and like all of a sudden different opportunity or different types of relationships, or like, when you're like, oh, okay, like things are starting to put into place around me. And so that if you retracted up into kind of a bird's eye perspective and saw the big view, you'd be like, whoa, look at everything coming into place around me. And I can't see it because you kind of like look at it from this bird's eye view. And then before you know it, this like wholeness aspect of self that you've been collecting from, and you've been releasing all this stuff that you're not bringing with you. You're transmuting all of that. Well, this birthing energy is happening in this solar eclipse part. This eclipse is the North Node eclipse. This is the like destiny. This is like what you're going for. Okay. And let me tell you, if any of you have any idea of what happens right before the birthing process, it ain't fun. Okay. Like it feels a little hot. So like that's where we're at. And so like, hold on and keep yourself grounded. Keep your connection strong. Keep your knowing strong. This isn't a time to be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something completely random and change everything up right now, because we are also in retrograde season. So there's like, we're kind of going back. We're kind of being held. Our communication's a little muffled, I want to say. Nothing's really clear right now, okay? Because it's not meant to be. We're heading in the end of this chrysalis stage before like big rebirth, also in retrograde season. So like that's really holding us into a holding phase of change. And then once we're birthed out of this, like at the end of April, beginning of May, and if you guys are watching this way back, like way, like not in current time, look back at what went down at the end of April 2025, beginning of May, and you'll be like, holy shit, that's when everything changed. Okay. And like, what are they? I was just about to say something. They're like, so I'm just going to hold back on that. What else? Okay, and they're saying like this rebirth, just like anything that's birthed out or like that is created and it's very tender. It's very vulnerable. It's very new. And so don't be quick to make these big like life-changing things right now because the newness of this aspect that is being birthed into this very divine destiny energy of what is right now needs to be nurtured. You need a lot of rest. You need to have a lot of tenderness in your connection to yourself and your relationships. Be really very aware of the words that you're using to yourself, speaking about yourself in your current situation, as well as others. Okay, like really hold back more. Think before you speak, because once the words comes out, sometimes, especially in the next couple weeks, it's gonna feel like you're like, ooh, probably didn't need to be that intense. I really didn't mean it that way, and sometimes it's hard to mend after words have been spoken. Okay, so they're saying like the next little bit is really tender, so take care with it. And anything that comes up in your awareness, I love this, thank you. Anything that comes up in your awareness in the next little bit that feels tender and like is like, oh, this is a gift of softness, this is a little angelic gift for this, endure it, don't overlook it, don't think, okay, what's coming next. Really like absorb the little bits that is of higher vibration and love, that softness. Okay, they're showing me like a puppy or like a kid or like an animal that might be coming into your awareness or your life, or like a friendship or a relationship, or even like something that shows up that you like observe around you, and you see this like glimmer of like love exchange. Like they're showing me like someone in a park, and you're like observing like two people like hugging, and they haven't seen each other in a while, and you can like see their love. Absorb that love, absorb that moment, because it's those moments, it's those softness pieces that help to nurture and nourish this new kind of birthing process. So like a newborn needs like that warmth, that kind of fourth trimester, in order to have that like development of like the best, most fruitful development. That's the same as this right now, is like nurture your energy, be very gentle, be very tender with yourself and others. If you have the choice between two things, always choose the softer one, no matter what. Even if you're like your unconscious belief system of like driving it home is going to be more successful, like kind of like hit it hard, let's go. I would say pull back from that like 80% and try to like lean into the softer side of things, okay? What else, Spirit? What else do you have to share? And they're saying like self-care goes so much deeper in than just the obvious, okay? Like self-care can really be like, do you feel your best when you're in this situation? When you're around these people, do you feel like you are celebrated and loved to the wholeness of who you truly are? And if that's a no, don't go. Don't hang out there. Really choose softness in every choice for at least the next little while, to help nourish and nurture this like very big change energy of this newness. Okay? I really, you know what's interesting is I didn't come into this kind of download with as much of the analogy of like actually the birth, the like little baby. But they're really giving me that because they're like, this is as tender as that. It's quite literally this birthing of this new aspect of yourself, of your situation, of your wholeness, of your like destiny, of your living, walking, sacred destiny of source, of self in this incarnation, in this experience of self. This is a whole new world. And chances are you've been feeling this for a really long time. And so you're in it, you know this is going on, and you're still feeling it. Whereas others who are around you that might not be as cognitive about what is going on, they might feel really spicy. Or I'm like thinking like they're really like, what the hell is going on, scattered, kind of like highs and lows. You might see that. But you also might see people a little bit spacey, where they're almost like they've like unconsciously, of course, pulled themselves out of like the current energies, and they're just kind of existing while their downloads are occurring. So however you or the people that you love might be experiencing this, the next like little like 3 to 5 days are going to be experienced vastly differently, like very, very, very differently will be experienced. Yet just like a birthing experience is vastly different amongst individuals in cultures, civilizations, belief systems, or just because you don't have a choice. It's just, this is the way it went down, and that was my birthing story kind of thing. Or big changes of any sort, right? You can think that you're prepared in all your ways, but you can't actually fully be prepared because it hasn't, like, the only moment is right now. And the only moment is in the way in which you're perceiving the moment you're in. And so the more that you can become very grounded and secure and like tender in the way in which you're perceiving your right now, then it makes the whole big picture of how it's all coming together in this massive change. It changes that for you. It allows you to be able to receive this in a much more fluid way. Some of us are being guided to help others in this, and some of us are being guided, like our journey in this is to help others integrate this. So we're more of the like healers and helpers, and some of us are the transmuters, and we're like the energy sources. We're like the the peaks of the temples that be able to, like, they're showing me like, the transmuters. We're the ones that are like bringing in the energy and transmuting it for the whole. And so all of our experiencing in this is very, very different. There's no better or worse than, but no matter what you're here to do and how you're doing it, you need to like self-care through it. You need to take time at the end of the day to rest, to release any energy that's not yours. If you are an empath and you are a healer and you're helping people and you're healing people, quite literally in the healing world, make sure you take the time to disconnect yourself from outside energy and keep your energy in, right? Make sure that you're refueling yourself with the energy that you need in order to be in your greatest and highest good. Okay. And when anything comes through your awareness that isn't in alignment with you, and you're like, yeah, this is not a part of my agreement, then those boundaries are firmly up, and you say, like, I'm protecting my energy and I'm keeping my energy vibration within me, and I'm outside energy out. Okay. And for our transmuters, where our job is just to like bring in the light source, and we're probably working with a lot of like energy beings from all different realities to help us do this. You've got to be restoring your physical body as well. You need to be resting a lot. Okay, not just sleeping, but resting and restoring. You need to be rebalancing yourself with good, nourishing food. This is really important for the transmuters, for the energy transmuters, is that you are getting a lot of good vibrational food. Because if your body is working really hard to balance itself energy-wise, with dense foods that are out of alignment with the like energy source that you're transmuting, it makes it very, very difficult, and we can feel it in our body. And like I've said before, you need to move your body a lot, because if you're transmuting a ton of energy through you, you don't want to get it stuck. To move, gentle movement, dance, fluid movement, yoga, like martial arts. God, they're showing me like somersaults, cartwheels, like twirls out on the lawn. I don't care. Like go for runs along the they're showing me like a pathway running by the water. Oh, that would be nice. Be in the trees. Allow yourself to really move that energy and visualize it moving through. Then restore your system with water and good quality food, okay? I send this to you with love each and every time. I'm absolutely loving all the interaction that we have in this community. And I'm so grateful for every one of you for coming together and really helping me to feel the encouragement and the confidence to be able to bring these messages through in such an open way. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. If you're wanting to work with me one-on-one, I do mediumship and intuitive readings, as well as tarot readings, as well as sound healing through vibrational healing. Lots of different options on my website at lisarichmond.ca. You can find me there. You can also find me at avalonspirit.com. And I also do a fun little like get together with two of my very close girlfriends on YouTube as well. And it's called Spirit Coffee Talk. We meet every week and just have coffee and chat about spirit. So if you're ever curious about stopping in, grabbing a coffee and listening to that, that's always good. So I'll link it in the description below. That's all I have for you today, but that's a lot. Okay? This is a time of a lot of patience for yourself. I love you very, very much. You're going to get through this. And I am so curious to see how this is playing out for you. And know that nobody has the right way of doing or the normal way, right? We're all just doing the very, very best we can. And just know that. Acknowledge that within yourself, okay? Sending love. I hope you guys can feel it. Really sending love to each and every one of you. So thanks so much for stopping in, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday for Tarot Tuesday. Okay, peace. Love you.